The other big story we're tracking this Saturday evening, repeated ceasefire violations being reported by Pakistan along the international border and the LOC. It has now emerged that 2 army jawans were killed in Tangdhar sector in North Kashmir last night when Pak Rangers opened unprovoked firing. Police have confirmed that an FIR was lodged by the army that 2 soldiers have been killed in Pak firing. This is the big story we're tracking. The death toll has now climbed to 3. 2 army jawans killed along the LOC in Tangdhar sector. 1 civilian killed along the international border in the Samba sector. Shuja ul Haq, our correspondent, is with us on the phone line. Shuja, increased aggression by Pakistan along the international border and now along the LOC as well.
Well, that's right. In fact, we've just gotten information that fresh firing is being reported from the Samba and Hiranagar sector of international border. As we speak, there was a brief lull during the day, but now it looks like the firing has picked up again. This has direct implications on the lives of the people who are living along these, border areas. We've also been getting information that there was an incident of fire last night in Tangdhar area, this has also been seen as an act of aggression. But later on, we were also told that because of that fire, the adjoining jungles also caught fire, and 2 of our jawans have died in that entire incident. Though we don't know exactly what is the nature of the injuries that they have, but yes, the entire area, which now includes the line of control, seems to be tense. More and more incidents seem to be coming up, both in on the international border from Jammu division, and now incidents on the line of control as well. Clearly, all does not seem to be well between the 2 sides on either the border or the line of control, with such pressure and tension visibly escalating on both sides.
Shuja, thanks so much for that update. Shuja ul Haq has been getting us ground reports from villages that have come under fire from the Pakistani side. Pictures on your screens are from the Samba sector, where close to 500 people have been forced to flee their homes. There's increased shelling that's being reported from civilian areas. Pakistani Rangers also resorting to heavy fire and mortar shells. 3 casualties were reported on Friday night. 2 army jawans, it's now come to light, were also killed. What we also know is that 1 civilian was injured in last night's firing. She succumbed to her injuries this morning. This was in the Samba sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Pictures on your screens are of mortar shells that were reportedly fired by Pakistani Rangers. Increased aggression. What we're seeing is that civilian areas are now being targeted, and not just along the international border, but the LOC as well. There you can see on your screens the entire wall of a house marked with the bullet shells and mortar shells that were later recovered from these villages. Hundreds of people being forced to flee their homes. Increased aggression from Pakistan. We're also being told that several BSF posts were targeted overnight in the Samba sector and Hiranagar sector. Shuja ul Haq, our correspondent, who's been getting us regular updates now, saying that fresh firing is being reported from Hiranagar, Kathua and Samba sectors. Pakistani Rangers again have started firing and shelling in Kathua and Samba sectors in Jammu and Kashmir along the international border. A 45-year-old woman has been injured just a moment ago in a mortar fire at Banglar area of Samba in Jammu, and she is being shifted to a hospital. Pakistani Rangers started firing and shelling in Paharpur area of Kathua in Jammu as well. On the phone line, we have with us our team of reporters who are tracking this big story for us. Shuja ul Haq is with us on the phone line from Samba. Also with us, Ashwini Kumar from Jammu. I want to come to you first. Shuja, you are in Samba. You're saying that fresh firing has started once again. Is there a trend that you're seeing that firing almost takes place every evening? During the day, there's still a little bit of calm?
Well, that's right. In fact, that's what we've been seeing over past few days. There is a lull during the day, and during the night, the firing picks up once again. And this is what the villagers have also been telling us, that it looks like there is a trend in this fire. If in these incidents of firing, it looks like that the troops are probably either mobilizing themselves or waiting for some sort of an opportune moment to carry out more attacks. And it's not just from the Pakistan side. The Indian side also equally responds to these incidents of aggression, and that in totality means the lives of those people who are living along in these border areas are made miserable. We were traveling throughout these villages in the day, and we saw how badly the lives are affected of the civilians, and how thousands of these people were fleeing their houses, leaving behind everything that they have, taking with them only few belongings and moving towards the relief camps. So clearly, these acts of aggression and the escalating tension between the two sides is having a direct implication on the lives of thousands of civilians living in these regions.
Absolutely, the situation remains extremely tense along all border villages. Ashwini Kumar is also with us on the phone line from Jammu. Ashwini, we're also seeing increased aggression in sectors in Jammu along the international border, where usually firing was not reported till about a couple of months ago.
Yes, for the last 3 days at least, the Pakistani Rangers have again invited the ceasefire on the international border. Around these two sectors are very active, Samba and Kathua, but previously it was not active. But since yesterday night, again they fired, and daytime it was a total calm, and we visited the areas. And now, there is a mortar shell at the residence of one of the villagers, and one of the women, 44 years old lady, she was injured because of the mortar shell hit their residence. And most of the villagers, they have left several places around. Deputy Commissioner Samba told us that they have established around 20 shelters for the migration of these people. And Bangalore area, 2 villages, they are the targeted since yesterday night, and whole village have been shifted to safer places, and only some skeleton people are seen in the village, and most of the women and children, they have been shifted. And we saw how they were fleeing from the international border to the safer places. Like in Paharpur area of Kathua district also, the Pakistan again started firing now, and we are just seeing that it will increase in the night also. But the BSF is again replying the heavy fire on the Pakistani Rangers, and there is a escalation about the fire the whole night, and how many damages can be done across the border also.
Well, that's a heavy firing being reported from both sides. Fresh firing being reported by Pak Rangers in Kathua and Samba sectors. Ashwini Kumar and Shujal Haq, thanks so much for that ground report. We're going to keep coming back to you for more. Indian agencies, of course, saying that Pak Rangers are providing cover fire so that insurgents can infiltrate into India.